In this episode, we delve into the striking parallels between two historical periods separated by 80 years, yet linked by similar threads of leadership and policy that have shaped the fate of nations. Adolf Hitler, a name synonymous with tyranny and the Holocaust, led Germany during the 1940s with an iron fist, orchestrating some of the most heinous acts of genocide in history. Fast forward to the 21st century, Benjamin Netanyahu has served as the Prime Minister of Israel, a tenure marked by controversy and critical decisions affecting the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. While the contexts and scales differ vastly, examining their leadership styles and the impacts of their policies offers a unique lens through which we can understand how historical echoes influence today's geopolitical landscape. Join us as we explore how these leaders, in their respective times, navigated the tumultuous waters of politics and human rights, setting the stage for the events that unfold in the subsequent scenes. Have you ever wondered how the echoes of history reverberate through the corridors of time, shaping and reshaping our present? Reflect on the tragic past of the Warsaw Ghetto and its chilling parallels with the current humanitarian crisis in Gaza. In the early 1940s, the Warsaw Ghetto in Poland became a symbol of extreme human suffering and systemic oppression. The ghetto's conditions were dire, marked by severe overcrowding, scarce food, poor sanitation, and rampant disease. The residents endured starvation, forced labor, and relentless deportations to concentration camps, with a significant escalation in 1942. Fast forward to today, the situation in Gaza mirrors this harrowing history. The territory has been subjected to intense conflict, leading to mass displacement and a severe humanitarian crisis. Recent reports from Al Jazeera and The Guardian highlight that the intensified ground offensive has halted most aid deliveries, exacerbating the plight of the civilians. Hospitals are overwhelmed, grappling with critical shortages of medical supplies, and the basic infrastructure is in ruins. Like the inhabitants of the Warsaw Ghetto, the people of Gaza face devastating living conditions. Overcrowding is a persistent problem, exacerbated by the destruction of homes. Access to essential resources such as clean water and electricity is sporadic at best, fostering an environment where disease can thrive. Moreover, the ongoing violence has led to a high casualty rate, with a significant proportion of the victims being women and children, as detailed in recent coverage by BBC. The international response to both crises reveals some stark differences and uncomfortable similarities. During World War II, the global reaction to the atrocities in the Warsaw Ghetto was largely muted until after the war, with information about the ghetto's conditions not widely known or acted upon. In contrast, the situation in Gaza has drawn widespread international condemnation and media coverage. Yet, despite this attention, effective intervention and support have been limited, often entangled in political complexities and regional power dynamics. This reflection beckons a pressing question. What have we truly learned from history? Are the global leaders and humanitarian organizations equipped or willing to prevent history from repeating itself? Or are the political and strategic interests too overriding to allow a shift towards genuine humanitarian priorities? As these two dark chapters of human history unfold side by side in different timelines, they challenge us to reconsider the effectiveness and humanity of our global political and humanitarian responses. Will we heed the lessons of the past, or will we continue to witness history's tragic repetitions? In a dramatic escalation of the ongoing crisis, Israeli tanks have now sealed off Rafah from the south, completing the encirclement of what has been designated as the Red Zone. Inside this area, Israel's military has issued a stark order for 100,000 displaced Palestinian residents to evacuate immediately, signaling a profound deepening of the conflict. This move comes as Israel's war cabinet authorizes an expansion of military operations within the beleaguered southern city. Compounding the complexity of the situation, a recent report from the U.S. State Department has sparked international controversy. The report suggests that Israel's deployment of U.S.-provided weapons in Gaza may have likely violated international humanitarian law. Despite these serious allegations, Washington has announced that it will continue to supply arms to Israel, a decision that underscores the tangled web of political and interests influencing international responses to the crisis. As the world watches, the implications of these developments are profound, not only for the immediate safety of thousands, but also for the broader geopolitical landscape. How will the international community react to this new phase of aggression and the potential breaches of humanitarian law? And what will be the long-term consequences for regional stability and international relations? These questions loom large as the crisis in Gaza enters a new and potentially even more volatile phase. To consider Gaza as a modern equivalent to the Warsaw Ghetto invokes a comparison fraught with both similarities and stark differences. Historically, the Warsaw Ghetto was an extreme manifestation of wartime oppression, where a large number of Jews were confined in an enclosed area under dire conditions, leading to horrendous suffering and massive casualties, which culminated in a tragic uprising. Like the Warsaw Ghetto, Gaza has experienced significant hardships due to blockades and military operations that affect daily living and restrict the movement of goods and people. However, unlike the ghetto, Gaza's situation involves complex geopolitical dynamics, where international law, sovereign state interests, and ongoing political conflicts intertwine. The international community's involvement and the legal frameworks in play also differ markedly from the 1940s. Thus, while there are parallels in humanitarian impact, the differences in context, legal structures, and historical significance remind us that each crisis is unique and must be understood in its own right. This comparison serves to underscore the urgency of addressing humanitarian needs and resolving conflicts through just and lawful means, reflecting the lessons of history but also recognizing the nuances of modern international relations.